Welcome to the Small Business Community. Welcome to the Small Business Community Network podcast, your connection to the small business community. Visit us online at www.sbcncanada.org and find out how we can help your business grow. We're proudly supported by TELUS, the future is friendly, and by Prime Information Security, because business is risky enough.
Hello everyone, Linda OJ here, co-founder of the Small Business Community Network with another SBCN Small Biz podcast. Today our regular guest Chris Davies from Polarverse and myself will be discussing downtime costs and how affordable continuity services, that's a hard word Chris, are in relation to each other. Good morning Chris.
Morning Linda, how are you?
Well, obviously I can't say the word continuity. But I'm sure our listeners and you exactly know what I mean. So this is a really good topic, Chris. Why did you come up with this one today?
Well, actually, we've come full circle because the very first podcast we did over a year ago was on this topic. But it's a topic that's very confusing to people in understanding what it costs them and what it would cost to protect them from it.
I cannot believe that it's over a year ago, though, Chris. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And for you, and for you to bring us back full circle. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not techie and I'm not an IT person, so I really can't remember our first conversation. So I guess I have a few questions about this, unless you want to jump in with anything before my questions.
No, if you have specific questions, why don't we start with those?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, when we talk about downtime costs, I'm guessing we have to, well, I wouldn't, my IT would, I have to figure out my true downtime costs. So how does someone do that?
Well, I have a calculator that I provide on my website. You get there by going to rcalc, like R as in Robert, CALC, like calculator, .polarverse.com. And there you can fill in the numbers about your own organization, and it'll calculate a number for you of an estimated how long you'd be down and how much that would cost your business.
So you're actually making our lives easier because it's all there on that site, and basically we can do some working out and then come to some kind of conclusion, I guess. Yeah,
well, it basically help you make an informed decision. Why don't we go through a quick kind of demonstration of it now? I can fill in the numbers. I'll ask you the questions, and
that'd be awesome.
We'll see what numbers we get.
Give it a go. What do you want to ask me, Chris?
Okay, so we're going to start with, we need your recovery time objective. This is how much time your business can go without accessing its critical systems or its data.
Okay.
Is that 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours?
Oh, gosh. That's a good one.
Most people, it's around 30 minutes.
Is it really? Again, I didn't really do my homework, so I'm going to go for 30 minutes. Yep, that's my answer.
Okay. And then the next number we need is your recovery point objective. This is how much of your production time on that data are you willing to lose? Like how long can you go with your employees not being able to work on any of the files?
Gosh, again, I'm going to guess and say, obviously we've been through this, but I never do it. I'm going to say half a day. Is that a bad thing to say? Half a day? I mean, I don't know.
So like 12 hours?
I'd say 12 hours, yeah. I mean, that must be awful, mustn't it, really? It must really be a bad thing.
It's pretty average that most people can tolerate 12 hours before it really starts to hurt.
Okay, thank you. I'm normally hidden from all this. It's very smooth. So what's my next question?
Okay, so the other question is how much data is on your systems? Like, that would be in terms of gigabytes.
I know that because my husband's a geek and we sometimes talk about this and I look like I know what I'm talking about. I think it's roughly about 250.
Okay.
Is it called gigabytes? I think it's 250 gigabytes.
Yes.
Yeah, I got that one.
And how often are you currently backing up your systems?
Again, very good with this. I think it's 24 hours.
So once a day?
Once a day, yep.
Okay. And then the other one, not a lot of people know this one, but how long does it take to start your recovery process once you've had an issue?
And again, I know we've been through this, I'd say roughly between 30, I think about half an hour.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for the purpose of doing this calculation, we'll say are you using just local backup, cloud backup, or using both?
I believe we use both, yeah.
Okay. So we'll do two calculations. One will be based on you having a local backup, and one will be based on having cloud only. Because if your local backup fails, you would have to go to your cloud. So it's good to know both numbers.
And let's hope the cloud didn't fly away while we're having all these problems.
Yeah, I hope it's not a sunny day and all the clouds are gone.
That is my biggest fear. Sorry. I'll get back on track.
Okay, so just three more questions.
Yeah.
How many employees would be affected when your systems are down?
I'd say about 15.
Okay. And what would the average salary be per hour of an employee? Just a rough.
Yeah. I'd say about 45,000.
Per hour.
Oh, per hour? No, not per hour. I'm no good at this, am I?
I want to work for you if it's 45,000 an hour.
Roughly 30
okay.
to $40 an hour. Whoa, I'm so blonde today.
Okay, so $30 an hour, and
yeah,
usually overhead cost is about half of that. So would $15 of your costs, employee costs, sound about fair?
It sounds right to me, yeah. I'm sure you're talking to the wrong person. I'm not at all person. I'm not geeky, but this is really going to help me in the future.
Okay, this is all just to get a rough number.
So what you're going to do, you're going to plug my numbers into your calculator, aren't you?
I've done that.
You have?
And now I just have to click on the calculate button, and it's going to tell me.
Whoa.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So on a local-only backup, you'd be looking at about an hour and 12 minutes of downtime.
Uh-huh.
Your cost per hour is $465 per hour. So your overall downtime cost till you restore everything would be $563 on that particular event.
Is that bad?
It's not too bad. But what if your local backup didn't work? And you have to result to the cloud. You'd be looking at about 19 and a half hours of downtime. Same cost per hour, but that would work out to $9,000.
It's a lot of money.
The reason that is so much higher in the cloud is because you've got 250 gigabytes of data that you'd have to download, and your limitation is your internet speed in that case. That's why it's so much more, and that's why you need to have both a local and a cloud-based backup.
Now, how many people, I don't know whether you know the answer, but how many people wouldn't have both? How many people have just one or the other? Do you know?
These days, it's usually when I approach a client who's maybe not had any IT support, like someone like me doing the work, most times they've either got a local only or they've gone cloud only, because the way cloud backups are advertised, they make it sound like it's the be-all, end-all, that's all you need, but no, you need both. Wow.
And I guess, the people who are really invested in doing the IT and stuff like that properly, they would have both. But, I guess you've come across people who haven't, and then you would maybe suggest that in future it would save them time and money?
Mm-hmm.
So,
now,
yeah?
I was going to say that this is based on, your standard backups. This stuff that we just went through is not using a continuity service. See, I can't say it either.
Aha! You caught the bug.
Using continuity. They're not using continuity services. They're using standard kind of backup services.
Oh.
Like if we use those same numbers that we just did, and you were using the service that I provide, I can tell you that I would reduce your downtime to about 10 minutes, and it would only cost you about $77 per instant.
Chris, I'm sorry, but that sounds like ridiculous. How on earth can you do that?
It does, doesn't it?
It's actually ridiculous, and obviously, everybody should be using your services, shouldn't they?
Well, the reason that it's so inexpensive on your downtime is because I have a process called instant virtualization, and what that is I can take your backup, whether local or in the cloud, and I can spin up a virtual copy of your data or your server. So while you can work off that virtual copy, this is basically just it's it's like going to a website to make it simple for you, and you'll be able to access everything. But while I'm fixing the actual problem, you can keep working as you were, and then when it's at a convenient time, I can switch it back to the original environment.
Whoa, that's absolutely amazing. I mean, I knew you had a lot of this, like you've said already. We've discussed some of these things before, but, you know, I can't remember everything. But that would mean then that for your clients, you are saving them so much time, so much money, plus there's no interruption in the work.
Yep. I tell you, I had one client asked once for a testimonial on it, and they said, well, we've never had any downtime. And I said, well, actually, you've worked off the virtual copy a couple times in the past couple of years, but they had no idea they were because it was just something I did to fix the issue.
That's amazing, Chris. So, like, what should we be doing? Should we all be coming to you and saying we want what you're offering us? I mean, is this something we can do ourselves?
Well, of course, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes to a question like that.
And I would say yes as well. But
one of the big misconceptions I find with people, like I tell them that their cost for downtime using my service would only be, $77 in a case like yours. But then, the first thing goes in your head, you're thinking about how much it would cost if you didn't have that service, and you think this is a very expensive service.
Yeah.
So I've been working hard to kind of demonstrate how affordable this is. And you're probably not going to believe me when I tell you this, but my service will break down to a cost of about a penny per minute, and I don't round up to a nickel.
No, I do believe you. And it's when you actually say that to one of your clients or a possible client, that's then, I guess, when the penny drops and they go, whoa, I mean, come on, how much do we spend on coffee, really, in a day, seriously? Or me, when I go to the hair salon or something like that. So that is amazing. So do you have to point that out a lot, or do people often work it out, themselves?
I do, because, they think a penny per minute, that's not a penny a day, right? So they're thinking that's going to add up to a lot. So then, I use that the same calculation I use to come up with a penny per minute. I say, okay, well, let's do that with your revenue. And for easy math, we'll say the company makes $1 million per year in revenue, okay?
Yeah.
That works down to $2 per minute. So do you think a penny a minute is worth it to protect your data in that case?
Well,
I would say yes.
Is it a little bit like, it's funny because I was watching the news last night and it was talking about automobile insurance, and I didn't realise this, but Kitchener, Guelph and I think Brantford have the lowest auto insurance because I guess we've got less cars driving around and having car crashes, but the government were told that something had to change. But a lot of people say with like the household insurance, what you need for your home to protect your home, it's not worth having it anymore because it's so expensive to pay. Nothing ever happens, so they don't get it. But then your house burns down and you don't have a house. So that's the same kind of thing, isn't it? We think of what you're offering us as expensive. You point out how it's going to help us, and then we jump at the offer because it's affordable, and it's our business we're talking about, Chris, isn't it?
Well, without, I can rhyme off statistics, but with your data, like if you can't access your data, like there have been reports by the Gartner Group and places like that have said that 70% of small businesses that experience a major data loss, and that are down for extended periods of time, they'll go out of business within a year because of how much losses they have.
Really?
Because their competition will come in and scoop up clients, or clients lose faith in them because they can't access their data. There's all kinds of reasons why that would happen.
So really, I guess for the regular person like me, this is a question: who makes the decision? Like, I obviously wouldn't have been able to make the decision before you told me today. So who's the decision maker that you have to talk to, or your person has to talk to, in order for the right information to get back? So they do use this kind of thing. I mean, do you know where I'm coming from? Because if I don't understand what's going on, I might say, no, it's a waste of time. So who do you need to get to?
Well, whenever I present this kind of stuff to a company, I need to have all the stakeholders in there. I need to make sure that the person who's making the decision there, and that usually it's not always the accountant or anything like that. It's usually the person who manages the business. Because they'll have an understanding of what it means if they can't get at their data. Yeah. But then you also need the person who signs off on, we're going to spend the money to do this kind of thing. So,
what about the IT people? They must, do they need their own IT people to be involved in this? Because obviously
no,
they don't.
No, I can actually provide this service to a company that has their own IT people, and they would just work with me when an incident would happen.
That's perfect.
But generally, most times I'm doing the whole IT support, because the size companies I normally deal with wouldn't have an on-site IT
I never thought about that. Yeah, that makes good sense. Now, how are you raising awareness about this? I'm not sure if have you done a presentation at the SBCN yet at our networking organisation? I can't.
No, I was going to talk to you about that after. Is that the one?
Yeah.
I do want to do that in the future.
I think it's more about awareness, Chris. I mean, I live with Dave, and he's very techy and all the rest of it, but I didn't really know the figures that they were so important. So basically, I think got to create awareness about this. You've already displayed how the costs are really, nothing really compared to what you're going to lose. So what will you leave us with today, Chris, for us to think about? What do you want us to take away from this?
Well, I think everyone needs to take a hard look at how they're backing up their data now and what system they're using, and, is it adequate for recovery time, how is that going to affect your downtime when something does happen? And if they're not sure, and a lot of people don't test their backups, then they would call someone like me to do an assessment of how they're set up and make recommendations that would best for their business and what their needs are. Okay.
Do you work across Canada, Chris, or are you just local to our, community?
I am mostly local, but this type of service, and with the connections I have in the IT service field, I could do anywhere in North America, actually.
And then I know you gave us some information about website and links earlier, but just remind us how we can contact you again, Chris.
If you can go to polarverse.com, there's a contact page there, and my office number is 519-489-0646.
Okay. You've really opened my eyes, because, yes, I do remember talking about this a year ago, but I didn't really remember the details. And now I
don't think we talked numbers last year.
Yeah, it's the numbers that
process.
And every business has this problem. Every business, the first question we're all asked is, how much does it cost?
Yeah.
Not you can solve my problem. You've got a solution for me. It's how much does it cost? And that's wrong. People shouldn't ask that. They should find out the facts. Chris, I think you're absolutely awesome, and you've opened my eyes, and we'll be chatting again probably in a few weeks. So thank you for your time. It's been absolutely wonderful finding out the true facts and how much money we can save.
Great. Always wonderful talking with you, Linda.
Thank you, Chris.